ಬಂತು ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ರಾಜ್ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅದ
ಆಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಅವ್ನ್ ನಾಮ್ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅವ್ನ ಏಜ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವನಿಗೆ
Hey, mic off ಮಾಡ್ರಲ್ಲ.
Yes, good morning, students.
Sir, good afternoon.
Still, it's not well.
Hey, ಶಬಾಷ್ ಕಣ.
Fine, whatever. I think you had a break.
Yes, sir.
So again, we are here with another important chapter now. Okay. And again, I request all of you, keep your name only. Don't keep your some code names. Okay. And also use chat for asking questions or doubts. And you can unmute yourself only if you have question. Otherwise don't unmute and keep, because it creates noise for everyone else, not only me. Okay, so take care of these things. Otherwise if I remove you, then you cannot join for whole session. So please take care that you don't create noise. Okay, let us learn very nicely. Chalo. So generally when it comes to CET, this chapter will carry 2 questions or at least 1 question in JEE and in NEET. Both 1 question will come, but sometimes in JEE they combine this chapter with next chapter, that is aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, and then ask. So in JEE sometimes a direct question from this chapter may not come, but NEET 1 question will come. Karnataka CET also you get 2 questions from this chapter. Okay, it's very important chapter in organic chemistry. Haloalkanes, haloarenes, alcohols, phenols, then aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids and amines. These are very important chapters in organic chemistry. Okay, so with this much of understanding, shall we start? Many of you have not joined. Pardon, you should repeat. I could not hear. maybe you can no, I could not really hear you, so you can type in chat box actually.
Explain in Kannada also, sir.
Okay, surely ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಓಕೆನಾ? Fine, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Chalo. Alcohol. Keep yourself muted so that you all of your friends can hear me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey. When Mr.
Yeah. So alcohols, just like haloalkanes. In haloalkanes, what had happened? In haloalkanes, we had hydrogen replaced by halogen. Okay. In alcohols, hydrogen is replaced by OH group. OH replaces hydrogen from alkanes. Okay. So this class of compound is called alcohols. I think IUPAC name and all you have learnt in our regular in your regular classes. So I will give you few important challenging questions in IUPAC naming. Then we can go ahead. Okay. Say this is our compound.
Sir, explain in Kannada.
Okay. No. Ultimately in CET and JEE, NEET, everywhere English alle ಬರೀಬೇಕು ತಾನೆ, ನೀವೇನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲ ಬರೆಯೋದು?
ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು.
Okay. There may be some people who don't understand Kannada also, no?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದವರೇ ಸರ್.
ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, still
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಯಾರು ಆತರ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡು ಮನೋಜ್ ಸಿರಿ ಒಬ್ನೇ ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡು ಸರ್.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಆದ್ರೂನು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ we are learning science. Basically, don't keep your mic on if you don't have question to ask. Okay?
ರಾಜೇಶ್
ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನೇ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ.
ಬೇಡ ಸರ್, ಡೌಟ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್. ವಿಶಾಲ್ಡಿ See,
here we have the simple compound butane 1-ol. Butanol is very simple. Then when you have OH group attached to second carbon, it is secondary butyl alcohol. That's the common name. And butane 2-ol is IUPAC name. Somebody were telling isopropyl chloride. Somebody were asking the other class. Isopropyl chloride is this one actually. This is isopropyl chloride. This is not a haloarine. This is a haloalkane only. Similarly, OH. This is isopropyl alcohol. Okay, isopropyl alcohol. Similarly, if you look at butane, this is isobutyl alcohol. Okay. Then we have, depending upon number of OH group, here also we have classification actually. Monohydric alcohol, dihydric, polyhydric. Okay. And there are unsaturated alcohols like vinyl alcohol. You see, this is vinyl alcohol, CH2 double bond CH OH. This is vinyl alcohol. Then we have phenol, where OH group is attached to double bond. Yes or no? Double bonded carbon, sp2 carbon. Hey, IUPAC name in idke? This compound.
Sir, 2-methyl.
2-methyl.
Benzol.
It's not benzol.
Benzo alcohol, sir.
Mhm. 2-methylphenol. Yes, good. Chetana has answered it correctly. 2-methylphenol it is. Okay, that's the correct answer. So like that we get many compounds to name as we go ahead with questions. Okay, so let us move on.
Voice is stuck.
See, you should make sure that you don't have any other process running in your phone or laptop or computer, so that all data is utilized only for class. Then it will not get stuck. Okay. Yeah, we'll see different techniques of preparation. We have from alkyl halide. From alkyl halide, we can prepare by treating it with aqueous KOH. We have seen that this reaction can go via SN2 or SN1. Yes or no? So we have seen both. Okay. Even RX, the alkyl halide, if it is treated with any aqueous alkali or base, will form alcohol. It's not only that KOH and NOH, other alkalis or bases also will give rise to alcohol like this. Then we have from alkenes. From alkenes, acid hydrolysis of alkenes. This we have learnt actually in first year only. So this involves carbocation. So I will be showing the mechanisms also. Please pay attention to what I write always. Okay. Suppose this is our alkene and we want to perform acid hydrolysis. What will happen when we perform acid hydrolysis? Yes. What will happen to acid hydrolysis? It will be in presence of H plus. So first is actually protonation of double bond. It will form a carbocation like this, which is a most stable carbocation. Then water. Water has a new lone pair. So this lone pair will attack here. So it will attack adrenagbeku. What should happen now? It will become OH2 plus. Correct? ಈ lone pair carbonic attach ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ it will carry positive charge. Once it carries positive charge, then another water molecule only will remove this hydrogen. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು hydrogen ಇರೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ positive charge ತಾನೆ oxygen ಗೆ. So if you remove one hydrogen, that will become H3O plus and you get alcohol like this. Okay. So deprotonation of hydrogen happens from this particular molecule. If you look at this, here there is a formation of carbocation. This is a carbocation. This carbocation can always undergo rearrangement. So there is a possibility of rearrangement here. Okay. Rearrangement can take place here. So you should keep this in mind. Okay. Then there is another technique by hydroboration oxidation. Correct? Using B2H6. This will give anti-Markovnikov type of product. Basically terminal OH group will come. Same alkene, if you treat it with B2H6, it will actually give OH like this. This also has a mechanism. B2H6 in THF actually. THF. What is THF?
Phenol chloride.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಏನೇನೋ ಅಂತಿರಲ್ಲ. THF ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿ? ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, NCERT ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಕಡೆ ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಟೆಟ್ರಾಹೈಡ್ರೋಫ್ಯೂರನ್ ಅಂತ, that's actually a ether. Okay, tetrahydrofuran. Any doubt? No doubt, no. So basically if you look at this, now here also we have produced alcohol. In this technique also we have produced alcohol, but this is a secondary alcohol, this is a primary alcohol. You should note these differences. Okay. Then you have another reaction called as oxymercuration demercuration technique. Okay, this is called oxymercuration demercuration, and this will also involve nucleophilic attack of OH minus here, and that will give similar product to this secondary alcohol will be obtained here. But here, because it is ethene, you have got same product in all three cases. Okay. If it was different alcohol like this, if this was different alkene like this, then it would have been different product. Okay. So in case of oxymercuration demercuration, you get CH3COO twice actually. Okay. Then H2O is the first. Second is NaBH4, sodium borohydride, as a good reducing agent. So this will give OH only. Okay. So the product formed by oxymercuration demercuration technique is same as that of product formed by acid hydrolysis of water. In this case only, need not be always, because here carbocation rearrangement is there, but here it is not there, and here it is going to give opposite product only. Okay, less substituted alcohol is obtained. So that is from alkene. Very important, preparation of alcohol from alkene, because this concept comes in two times. First in hydrocarbons in first year, second time here in alcohols. Okay, that's why it is very important. Then next, from amines. From amines also we can produce alcohols as long as it is a primary amine. When it is treated with NaNO2 and dilute HCl, what will be formed by reaction of NaNO2 and dilute HCl? HNO2 is formed here actually. Okay. So that will actually give rise to primary alcohol here like this, with the liberation of N2 gas. This reaction is also test for primary amine. Okay, this is also test for primary amine. Any doubt? So we move on. We can also obtain alcohol from ethers. Ethers give alcohols by reacting with dilute acids. Okay. That is one technique. Another technique is by reaction of Grignard reagent. Gottutane Grignard reagent.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So most of you have learned what is Grignard reagent. Chandu, I think you have to check your connectivity here. I have 100 Mbps Wi-Fi. It will not be from my side. Okay. So please take care that your internet connection is good. Even Geo is okay actually. Basically, you should not do anything else. Only attend class. Then it will work. Okay. Take care. Yeah, we have Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent also gives alcohol on reacting with ethers like this, especially cyclic ethers. Straight chain ethers won't react with Grignard reagent. So I will show you what is the exact mechanism here. I hope you understand properly if I write bond line structures like this. Okay. So here RMgX. Now because this oxygen is electronegative, this carbon will develop partial positive charge. Yes or no? Because of the electronegativity of oxygen. So as a consequence, R minus will attack here. So if R minus attacks here, this bond will shift on to oxygen. So as a consequence, what you get is O minus R, because this carbon will have R now, and here MgX will interact with this anion. This on hydrolysis will give R CH2 CH2 OH. So in this O minus will abstract proton from water and become alcohol. So like this you can prepare alcohol from epoxides also. Epoxides are cyclic ethers. Okay. Yeah. And we have different technique of reduction also here. You can see aldehydes can be reduced using H2PT or NaBH4 or LiALH4 to primary alcohol. Ketones are reduced to secondary alcohol. Please remember. Okay. Ketones can also be converted to tertiary alcohol if we use Grignard reagent and hydrolysis. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay, straight chain ether will not react with Grignard reagent because it has less electropositive carbon. See, to react with straight chain ether like this should have a sufficient electropositive nature. Okay, rather than that, this straight chain ether can act as a Lewis base, okay, because it has a lone pair. So that is the reason it will not react with Grignard reagent so easily. You can make it react. You have to use acidic medium, then it will give different products. Okay. Then we have from carboxylic acids. Even carboxylic acids give alcohol on reduction using B2H6 or LiALH4. All of these actually reducing agents, what they do? They actually give hydride ion H minus. So it will result in reduction of carboxylic acid. Okay. Yeah. Then we can also get alcohols from ester, hydrolysis of ester. Correct? Ester is made up of carboxylic acid and alcohol. So once you hydrolyze ester, it will give back carboxylic acid and alcohol like this. So once you get these two, then you have to distill it and separate it. Okay. That's about preparation of alcohol from carboxylic acid and ester. Yeah, ester also. Then we can also prepare alcohols from anhydrides using LiALH4. Basically, you can see here LiALH4 is such a powerful reducing agent that it is reducing everything to alcohol. Look at this. See, everywhere LiALH4 is there. So it's very important. You can always expect one question on LiALH4. Okay. Yeah. Then properties of, any doubt in any preparation technique here? Now you cannot say ella doubt sir enu gotte agilla anta helangilla. You have to be attentive, then you will understand. Yes, any doubt in particular?
No, sir.
And you don't have to worry about making a note right now. You should be very attentive. Okay. I will send whatever you are seeing in the screen, or whatever I write on the screen, you will be able to get that. Okay, I will send the copy.
Thank you, sir.
But you should pay attention, don't make noise. Yeah. So physical properties. First, generally we see physical properties first, right? So we know that alcohols have hydrogen bonding. So lower alcohols are liquid at room temperature. So they generally are not gases. Why they are not gases? Because they have hydrogen bonding, strong hydrogen bonding, because of which the intermolecular force is high. So because intermolecular force is high, we can expect that the state is either liquid or solid. Actually, very higher alcohols, like beyond 17 carbon atoms, will exist as solid only. Okay. Lower alcohols are liquids at room temperature, while higher ones are solid. Okay. Solubility in water decreases with increase in molecular mass due to decrease in extent of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Because with the increase in molecular mass, what happens? the hydrophobic alkyl chain will increase. As a consequence, solubility of alcohols in water reduces. Okay. And boiling point also, with branching, boiling point decreases. We have studied that. Yes or no? Why with branching boiling point reduces? Can anybody tell me? Please tell me your
Because of
answer.
hydrogen bond.
Because it occupies more space.
More. No, it's not more space actually. You can also answer me in chat box. You can answer in mic also. But unmute as soon as you have done your answering. Okay? Yes. Anybody else?
Because of hydrogen bond.
It's not because of hydrogen bond. Surface area increases. More surface area. Actually, primary alcohols. See, with branching, surface area decreases. Sinjana. Okay. So, with branching, surface area decreases. Because of which intermolecular force decreases. Okay, you should note this point. Very important. Van der Waals force. Van der Waals force is proportional to surface area. So reduction in surface area reduces Van der Waals force of attraction also. Okay. So with branching, what happens? Molecule assumes spherical shape, more and more spherical shape. If you remember our geometry from 9th and 10th class, for a given volume, sphere has the lowest surface area. Correct? So when molecules assume spherical shape due to branching, they will have low surface area. As a consequence, their boiling point also will reduce. Any doubt? No doubt. Huh? Yeah, good. There is no doubt. So we go on. Then chemical properties. Actually, chemical properties are many. So there are some properties in which OH bond breaks. In such reactions, the reactivity is like this. Primary alcohol will be most reactive, then secondary, then tertiary. Very important. Huh? Questions will be based on such type of core concepts. So please remember these things. Then there are some reactions in which CO bond breaks. In such reactions, tertiary alcohol will be more reactive, because for tertiary alcohol it is very easy to break CO bond, because the tertiary alcohol will form tertiary carbocation, you see, which is more stable. As a consequence, you can always expect tertiary alcohol to be more reactive in this case. Okay, this is also important. Fine. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So now we will see in general what reactions an alcohol shows. Okay. So consider there is ROH this side. Okay. ROH this side, and I am treating with all these things. If I treat ROH with sodium, it will liberate hydrogen. Any doubt in this reaction? All of you have learnt this. This is also test for alcohol. Okay. Alcohol gives hydrogen, indicating that it is acidic in nature. Okay. It is acidic in nature. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then we know that if alcohols are reacted with carboxylic acid, then what happens? What happens if we react alcohol with carboxylic acid? Ester is formed, right?
Yes, sir, is formed.
Yeah, ester is a sweet smelling compound. Generally, most of the perfumes are esters only. Okay. This ester can be obtained not only by reacting with carboxylic acid, it can also be obtained by reacting with RCOCl, that is oil halides or acid halides. They are called acid halides. Okay. It can also be obtained by reacting with acid anhydride.
Anhydride.
Yeah. So see, alcohol is a very good protonating agent. This hydrogen is acidic in nature because it is attached to electronegative element O. So as a consequence, what can happen is, when it is reacting with Grignard reagent, that acidic hydrogen may react with this R and form alkane like this. It is one of the important technique to prepare alkane preparation. Okay, so like this you should actually connect to what you have already learned and go ahead as we go. Okay, so here this is another reaction with HX. HX is like HCl, HBr, HI, etc. Okay, so when it reacts with HX, it will form RX, alkyl halide. This we have already seen in first class, today's class. Preparation of RX using alcohol. Okay, PX3, this also we have seen today. This also we know, so I'm not going to discuss about that. Yeah, here you see concentrated H2SO4, 443 Kelvin. Please note the temperature, it is very important. Concentrated sulfuric acid performs dehydration to alcohol, so it will give you alkene. Correct? Any doubt in this? Dehydration reaction is very important. We will see the mechanism slightly later. Okay, see, instead of 443 Kelvin, if it was 413 Kelvin, then what product you get? You get ether. You see, very important, huh? That's why I said temperature is important here. Then on oxidation, alcohols give with alcohols on oxidation, these are all oxidizing agents, right? K2Cr2O7, KMNO4, all these are oxidizing agents. So these alcohols produce carboxylic acids on oxidation. Okay, idu tumba important to this reaction, preparation of carboxylic acid alli matte barutte. So you have to actually learn these things from beginning only, so that you don't forget as we go ahead. Okay, now the last but this one, dehydration in presence of copper. See, instead of copper you can also have silver actually at 573 Kelvin. Primary alcohol will give aldehyde, secondary will give ketone, tertiary will give alkene. One of the most important questions in this preparation techniques. Okay, every time they have asked about this, so please don't forget it. Then we know PCC. PCC is pyridinium chlorochromate. Okay, so chromic oxide with pyridine and HCl produces PCC, and it's a mild oxidizing agent. Correct? PCC is a mild oxidizing agent. As a consequence, it converts alcohol to aldehyde. Whereas here you see strong oxidizing agents like K2Cr2O7 and KMNO4 forms carboxylic acid. Isn't it? Any doubt in whatever we discussed till now? Basically, I will share this document. You should go through these reactions. Okay, once again. Then today only you go through. It will be with you. Yes. Hey, somebody is making noise. I will mute everyone because you don't learn in a humanly way. ಮನುಷ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Actually, PCC is only the composition of PCC is given here. Chetana. Okay.
Sir,
this is the composition. Whatever I am showing you, I will send. Okay. Yeah. But if you read on your own, you will not understand it, huh? Because it is my notes. You won't understand unless I explain it. This PCC is actually, this is the composition of PCC. Okay, it's not some other reagent here. Yeah, so now what you do, if you have any doubt or anything to ask me, use chat box. Okay. Dehydration of alcohols. So this is what I was mentioning. I will discuss the mechanism because it is important mechanism. So what happens in case of dehydration is we use concentrated H2SO4. So protonation of alcohol takes place first. See here, this is the protonation step. Okay. Lone pair of oxygen attacks proton and it becomes protonated alcohol. Once protonated alcohol is formed, the removal of water and formation of carbocation is the slowest step. That means this is the rate determining step also. Okay. The meaning of RDS is rate determining step. Now once carbocation is formed, then there is removal of H plus. This H plus is removed by HSO4 minus only. So it will remove this proton and this bond will collapse here and form alkene like this. Okay, very important in this, because there is a formation of carbocation, there is always a possibility of rearrangement. For example, suppose I give you this compound. Can you write product here? H2SO4 and heat. Consider if they give this much, you should do elimination only. Don't wait for 443 Kelvin kottilla nan reaction madalla anta kutkobiddbedi. When you are writing, you should write 443 Kelvin. If they ask, they can ask like this only. Okay? Chalo. Barri nodana. Tell me the answer. This will be the first cation formed. First protonation will happen. Removal of H2O. You get actually carbocation. But this carbocation is secondary. There is a possibility of formation of tertiary carbocation if this hydrogen shifts there. So there is something called as hydride shift. So what happens? This hydrogen shifts from this carbon to this carbon. Okay. As a consequence, you get a better carbocation which is more stable because of its tertiary nature. This hydrogen shifted with electron as H minus. As a consequence, there is a hydride shift. This is called hydride shift. Okay. This carbocation now, whatever is formed, is more stable than the previous one. And to this, from this you remove one hydrogen, because HSO4 minus will remove one more hydrogen. Now it will remove beta hydrogen compared to, in the sense it will remove the hydrogen from adjacent carbon to this carbocation. So in that way it will be alpha hydrogen for this cation. Okay, but it is still a beta elimination only, because if you compare the hydrogen next to functional group, this carbon next to functional group is alpha, this is beta. So adjacent carbon will be beta only. Now here it has shifted, actually the charge has shifted, so you have different carbon. Now there are three options, either this hydrogen or this hydrogen or this hydrogen. Out of these three, which hydrogen has to be removed has to be decided by Sergev's rule. According to Sergev's rule, when double bond is formed, it should be most substituted, and that most substituted double bond is possible if this hydrogen is removed. So this HSO4 minus will remove this hydrogen, and when this hydrogen is removed, this bond will actually shift here and nullify the charge and form this compound. Look at this. Got my point? So this is how you get the product. Any doubt? No doubt. Okay. Yeah, now here you see test for secondary, primary and tertiary alcohol. We know this Lucas test, right? We have performed also, I think, in lab. If I am not wrong, you must have. No, you can see the product actually. It is in screen only, no? So I have shared full screen. Okay. Yeah. So this Lucas test, Lucas reagent is HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2. For primary alcohol, what happens? No reaction at room temperature. Okay. For secondary alcohol, turbidity appears after 5 minutes. Okay. And for tertiary, it gives immediate turbidity. That means immediately alkyl halide is formed. Okay, this test is called Lucas test. There is also Victor Mayer test, which is not so much asked actually. Okay, so we will not discuss it because it's not there in NCERT as well. You can go through this notes anyway. I am sharing. Okay, it is for your extra learning. Then phenols. Yes, preparation of phenol is very important. We know there is a Dawes process, conversion of chlorobenzene. We have seen this in the morning session today. When we have extreme condition of 300 atmospheric pressure, 673 Kelvin, 623 Kelvin and concentrated NaOH. It should be actually fused. That means it's like a solid NaOH, pure NaOH. Okay. So then what happens? It will get converted to phenol. So this process is very difficult because 300 atmosphere is very difficult to achieve. So this is not a very good technique. Okay. So another important technique is conversion of benzene sulfonic acid to phenol. So this can be obtained by reacting it with alkali. Okay. So alkali fusion of sodium benzene sulfonic acid. Okay. Alkali fusion of benzene sulfonic acid will produce sodium phenoxide. Sodium phenoxide on acidification gives phenol. This is a good step we can perform in lab. Okay, good reaction. But industrially, because phenol is very important compound, it is used for so many other chemicals to be prepared, like polyester, so many types of resins, and we see that bakelite, etc., correct, in polymers, which are phenol formaldehyde resins, correct. So phenol is very useful in polymers and also as a it's a precursor. Precursor means the starting material for many other compounds. So it is very important that we prepare phenol in large quantity. So for that we use cumin. Okay, this is also called as aerial oxidation of benzene. Okay, so you get cumin from benzene and isopropene. So this on reacting with H3PO4 or AlCl3. It's basically Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction. This alkene forms a carbocation. Once carbocation is formed, then Friedel-Crafts reaction only. Okay, so you get cumin. This cumin is treated in presence of aerial oxygen. Okay, this is a cumin and you are treating it with aerial oxygen. It will form cumin hydroperoxide. Okay, important. NEET 2019. If you see the paper, they have asked the intermediate formed in industrial preparation of phenol from cumin is. They have given 4 structures. One of the structure was this one, and you were supposed to answer this. Okay. So this was the intermediate which was supposed to be answered. So like this, you should note that question can come from anywhere. So we should actually learn nicely. Okay. This intermediate is called cumene hydroperoxide. This on decomposition gives phenol and acetone. Both are useful, you see. Where do we use acetone? Heli nodana. Eಲ್ಲಿ use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ acetone na? Yes. Type in chat box. Where do we use acetone? Okay, yes. We find many applications. It is a very good solvent. Okay. It can be used as a paint remover or and many similar application. It is also laboratory reagent. Okay. And acetone is also used in preparation of isopropyl alcohol. Okay. Then properties of phenol. A phenol is colorless, crystalline, deliquescent solid. What is the meaning of deliquescent? Can you tell me what is meaning of deliquescent? Deliquescent means the one which absorbs moisture. Okay, the one which absorbs moisture. That is called deliquescent. So phenol in its pure form will absorb moisture. And it attains pink color on exposure to air. Why? This is actually due to formation of quinones. On oxidation, phenols give rise to quinones that we will see in a short while. Okay. And it is soluble in water due to intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay. Its melting point and boiling point is mentioned here. Yes. It is poisonous in nature but acts as an antiseptic and disinfectant. Okay. What is the difference between antiseptic and disinfectant? Antiseptic is .1% phenol is antiseptic, that is used to kill microbes on a living tissue. Okay. Like Dettol is an antiseptic, correct? Like that you can use 0.1% phenol also. And 1% to 2% solution is a disinfectant. Disinfectant means it is used in cleaning washroom and such inanimate objects. Okay. Then chemical properties. See, interesting chemical properties. And I have given you flow chart so that you go through this at least 3 times before exam. Now today you go through, you read throughout from first line to last line of the document today, and again you read 2-3 times. Meanwhile, it will be like 90% done. Then once before exam, you just go through and go. You will never forget. Okay. So phenol. So phenol shows so many reactions. So let us see one by one. Okay. First one, when it reacts with carboxylic acid, obviously it should form ester, right? See here, this is ester, phenolic ester. Okay. Any doubt? No doubt. If phenol is treated with zinc dust, it will form benzene. This we know. If phenol is treated with bromine water, aqueous Br2. See, aqueous Br2 is highly polarized actually. You will get lot of Br plus ion here. As a consequence, it will be tribromophenol, which is a white PPT. So this excessive bromination of phenol ring is due to highly activated nature of phenol here. This benzene ring of phenol is highly activated because of lone pair of oxygen here. Okay. However, if you treat phenol with bromine in CS2, you are able to see that. If bromine is treated in presence of CS2, CS2 is a non-polar solvent, so it will actually result in only monobromination. This will be the major, this is minor. So only monobromination happens. Important, huh? If you treat it with bromine water, excessive bromination. If you treat with bromine in carbon disulfide, you get only one major product. Okay, that is only monobromo product. Similarly, dilute HNO3. So the dilute HNO3 is also electrophilic substitution reaction only. So it will form para product here. See, you are able to see here all these reactions are electrophilic substitution reactions. What is the intermediate formed in electrophilic substitution reaction? Can anybody tell me? Type in chat box. What is the intermediate formed in electrophilic substitution reaction? Wait, let me ask some of you by name. Yes, Yashmita, Deepak. Don't know. Zaid, what is the answer? What is the intermediate of electrophilic substitution reaction? Vishnu? Vijayanand? No answer? Sinchana? Type in chat box the answer. Yes, Pannaga, tell me. Okay, 1 minute. Let me unmute. Yeah. Tell me answer. It's not carbocation.
ಯಾರೋ ಹಾಕಿದಾರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು.
Yeah. Anyway, I think you have forgotten. It's not a carbocation. It's of course carbocation, but that's not what I am looking for. I am looking for uranium ion. You should mention uranium ion, then only it is correct. OH plus electrophile. Now this electrophile in bromination is Br plus. In nitration it is NO2 plus. You know this, no? Nitronium ion. So this double bond will attack electrophile and it will actually form OH plus. This plus has actually resonance. It can go from here to here like this. It can travel. This is called uranium ion. This is the intermediate. Okay. This on reaction, this removal of this proton minus H plus will result in EOH. Similarly, you get ortho product also. Okay. Yeah. Chalo. Next, you see here oxidation of phenol. Oxidation of phenol gives phenol. This is the reason. This oxidation will happen in a slow rate if you keep this phenol in atmosphere, open atmosphere also. That's why it becomes dark colored compound. Then coal-based reaction. When phenol is treated with carbon dioxide in presence of NaOH, correct? It will form salicylic acid. So this is coal-based reaction. Important. Don't forget. Then we have Reamer-Tiemann reaction. Chloroform and NaOH. It will form salicylaldehyde. Correct? Salicylaldehyde. instead of chloroform, if I have carbon tetrachloride, then I get salicylic acid actually. This is also a type of Riemann-Tiemann reaction only. Okay. But if they ask what is Riemann-Tiemann reaction, then you should give this CHCl3 and NaOH reaction with phenol. Okay. Then here you see, what is this? Fries rearrangement it is called. Okay. This is not Friedel-Crafts reaction. Friedel-Crafts reaction does not occur. FC reaction does not occur in phenols as AlCl3 forms different compound and causes Fries rearrangement. So Fries rearrangement means the CH3CO group is there, no? That will come to ortho and para. That is what is Fries rearrangement. Okay. There is no Friedel-Crafts reaction here. Please remember. Okay. That's about reactions of phenol. Then test for phenol. We know, no? Ferric chloride test. Important. Ferric chloride test. Ferric chloride test. How we perform this? We add freshly prepared ferric chloride solution to phenol and it gives violet color complex. Okay. Then it can also be tested using bromine water, aqueous bromine. That is bromine water gives white precipitate. Just now we have seen here excess of bromination takes place and it gives white PPT. That is also test for phenol. Then phenols are more acidic than alcohols. You should note this. Please note this. Note. Okay. Phenols are more acidic strength. Phenols are more acidic than methanol. Okay. And methanol is more acidic than water. And all other alcohols, RCH2OH, are less acidic than water also. So in general, phenols are more acidic than alcohols. Okay. Please note this. Any doubts till now? No, when I say note this, you may not write, but you should pay attention and see what I am writing. That is the meaning. Okay. So we move on with ethers. Okay. General formula is there. We all know general formula of ethers, but please note this also. You should be able to use this in exam. Okay. There are two types of ethers: symmetrical ether, where you have identical alkyl groups on either side of oxygen, and unsymmetrical ether, where you have a different alkyl group on either side of oxygen. Preparation, most important technique of preparation of ether is Williamson synthesis. And exam ali question bandila andre bit bandbidi exam na barilebedi. Okay, this is very important. And yes, using Grignard reagent also we can get, but they are all not very important reactions. These two are important. Preparation of ether from alcohol using concentrated sulfuric acid. You know, right? We have discussed this reactions little early in our discussion of alcohols. See here, at 413 Kelvin, concentrated sulfuric acid gives ether. Same reaction is again discussed here. Okay. Same reaction is again discussed here. So at 413 Kelvin, when you heat alcohol in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, it gives ether. Okay. Yeah, ferric chloride test is simple. What we need to do is we have to add freshly prepared ferric chloride solution to phenol. That much only we'll have to do. Neutral ferric chloride solution, we say, we neutral it by adding ammonium hydroxide. Okay, that is to avoid acidic nature of FeCl3 interfering in the reaction. See, FeCl3 undergoes hydrolysis in aqueous medium and forms FeOH thrice and H plus. So to avoid that H plus formed in FeCl3, to neutralize that H plus, we add ammonium hydroxide. So neutral ferric chloride solution on reacting with phenol, on reacting with phenol forms violet complex. Now in this is a complex, that much only I can tell you. This you can perform and see in lab as well. Okay. Then properties of ether. Ethers have bent structure and are dipolar in nature. See, all ethers have this type of structure. Why they are like this? They don't have any other option. Huh? They don't have any other option actually. They have lone pair like this. See, oxygen has 2 lone pair. What is hybridization of oxygen here? sp3. Okay. So in this way, because of lone pair repulsion here, the bond angle is always less, correct? So it will be, of course, bond angle is greater than water and all because of the bulky groups here. These are bulky, no? So bond pair repulsion will increase. Okay. But they have net dipole, please remember. That's why they are dipolar in nature. Boiling point of ethers show gradual increase with increase in molecular mass. This is, everyone knows this. It's not very special. They are lighter than water. Lower ethers are highly volatile and very flammable. Yes, all ethers are flammable actually. Okay. Sparingly soluble in water due to dipole interaction. Okay. Sparingly soluble in water due to dipole interaction. And highly volatile. Okay. And obviously with organic solvents they will be soluble. Yeah. Then chemical properties. So basically they react with H plus acids to form alcohol. So later on they break down to give alcohol actually. Okay. And they have lone pair. No, this oxygen has a lone pair. So it can always react with Lewis acid. And it can also oxidize in air, forming peroxide. Okay. More specific reactions of anisole and others. Yeah. Here also you can expect either protonation or breakdown of R-CO-R bond. So on reacting with PCl5, they form RX, that is RCl and POCl3. And acid hydrolysis, you see, this is acid hydrolysis. I will show you the mechanism of acid hydrolysis. RCH2O, CH2R. Okay. On protonation, it forms RCH2OH plus CH2R. Correct? Lone pair of oxygen will surely attack proton, right? Now one of the bond will shift. Which bond shifts is dependent upon the number of carbons here. Okay. It is always going to form stable carbocation. So if this carbon is more stabilized when it forms carbocation, this will be formed. That means lengthier chain, longer the alkyl chain here, that will form carbocation, and this will form alcohol. And that carbocation also will react with remaining acid. No, it will again undergo protonation, and again it will form RCH2OH. Okay. So like this you get alcohol when ethers undergo acid hydrolysis. That is what is shown here. You are able to understand? Any doubt till now, whatever we have discussed? Shall we move on? Yeah. Different possibilities of reaction of ether with HI. This is important. Huh? See, these reactions are all same only, acid hydrolysis only, though I am not taking up that discussion. Addition of HX is very important actually. This will come again. So addition of HX. You see, the mechanism is also discussed. First, what happens? Protonation. So it forms a protonated ether. Once protonated ether is formed, then this I minus is there, no? I minus will attack. It will attack that carbon which carries maximum charge. That means smaller the alkyl group, easier for iodine to attack. So you get this particular alkyl iodide which has smaller alkyl chain. So you can note here, this is smaller alkyl chain. Okay. So I minus attacks on smaller alkyl chain. Okay. So that's all. One alcohol and one methyl iodide, one alkyl iodide you will get. However, this reaction will not stop here if you use excess of HI. If you use excess of HI, then it will undergo further iodination and it will become 2-iodopropane instead of alcohol. Okay. I hope I could communicate it properly. Yes, somebody raised hand. Can you please text me in chat box what you want to say or what is your doubt? Yes, Vignesh. Tell me. Okay, I think by mistake they raised hand. That is fine. Okay. So this was reaction with HI. Then we have reactions of anisole. See here, reaction of anisole with HI, very important. Okay. Whether it is concentrated or dilute or whatever it is, HI will always react in one way with anisole, because here OH group cannot be substituted. This cannot undergo substitution. Does not undergo substitution. Why it does not undergo substitution? Yes. What is problem with phenol undergoing substitution? Yeah, tell me. Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay, if you have a doubt which is not related to this topic, then we will have a separate doubt solving session. That time we can discuss. Okay. Yeah. Now, reaction of anisole, important. Friedel-Crafts reactions are shown by anisole. See here, Friedel-Crafts reaction. So they will ask this. Okay. And bromination, in presence of acetic acid, they undergo bromination like this. Okay. Any doubt? So Friedel-Crafts reaction occurs means it can be also alkylation, it can also be acylation. Here only alkylation is given, even acylation can occur like this. Say this is anisole. This is anisole. This one reacting with AlCl3 and CH3 COCl. What is expected? We expect this product as a major product, OCH3 COCH3. Okay. So acylation occurs at para position and forms a major product. So with that we conclude our discussion on the concepts here. Okay. So please go through these notes. There are many interesting reactions here which I could not discuss because we would like to discuss at least some 10 questions now. Okay. Yeah, I think now you are able to see the screen. Correct? Any doubt? Anybody not able to see the screen? You can text me. We will take some doubt clearing sessions also. Okay. Anyway, first question, if you see here, the compound that is most difficult to protonate. Tell me which one is most difficult to protonate. That means which is a poor base or which donates lone pair very with great difficulty. That is what they are asking. See, phenol has lone pair in resonance. Because lone pair participates in resonance, the oxygen of phenol cannot actually be donating lone pair to proton. Okay, so the compound that is most difficult to protonate is actually phenol. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, so it is option A. It is most difficult to protonate. Any doubt? No doubt. Second question, the structure of intermediate A in the following reaction is, look at the reaction. This is cumene and oxygen. You see, this is actually industrial preparation of phenol. Correct? This A has to be cumene hydroperoxide. Correct? That structure is actually C. You see here, this is the structure. You remember? See, Vishnu, I actually explained in first question that the compound which has low availability or no availability of lone pair on oxygen will be difficult to protonate. See, in case of option D, you have CH3O CH3. This lone pair is there, no? Both lone pairs are free. So it can easily undergo protonation. But phenol has only one lone pair. One lone pair actually participates in resonance with benzene ring here. So because oxygen has only one lone pair here, it cannot undergo protonation now. Because oxygen cannot extend its covalency beyond 3. Okay? And hence you cannot expect difficulty in protonation in option D. But in option A, that is phenol, you have difficulty in protonation. Okay? Yes, here the second question. In second question you have intermediate. It is actually C. Second question is C. Any doubt? See, if you are asking any other question than what we are solving, I am going to remove you again. If you have any doubt, you can always take up those doubts in doubt solving session, not in this class. Now we are discussing questions from alcohols, phenols and ethers. We will discuss that. Okay. This is a direct question actually. It's from this question is from directly the mechanism of preparation of phenol from industrial technique, using industrial technique. Okay. So this is the intermediate. So they have asked here the structure of intermediate A in the following reaction is. So it is C. Any doubt? No doubt. So let us move on to third question. When vapors of a secondary alcohol is passed over heated copper at 573 Kelvin, I told you this dehydration in presence of heated copper will always be asked. When vapors of a secondary alcohol, take example of isopropyl alcohol only. Alcohol is passed over heated copper, 573 Kelvin. Okay, the product formed is ketone. Yes or no? So it is a ketone, option C. Okay, direct question. Any doubt? No doubt. If you have doubt, you should put it in chat box. Huh? Yeah, fourth one. The major products C and D formed in the following reactions respectively are. Yes. So here, if you see, it is a ether, and here, if you are not able to see that reaction, I'll write the reaction. Okay. Fourth, CH3, CH2, CH2, O, C, CH3, CH3 thrice. So basically, this is O like this. This is a tertiary carbon. That's why I'm telling you, if you write bond line structure, you can easily understand the nature of compound quickly. In this, to realize that it is a tertiary carbon, you need to actually look into these numbers and analyze. But as soon as you write structure here, you will get to know this is a tertiary carbon. So as a consequence, when you add HI, so here it is excess HI actually. Okay. So fourth one is excess HI. So what happens here? First, protonation will happen and it will form OH plus. Now before iodine attacks, this compound will break here because it is a tertiary carbocation here. As a consequence, this will become I. Okay, this carbon will become iodinated because it forms a carbocation. Then this whole chain will become alcohol like this. But now this is not over. This is not over. Okay. Now they have mentioned excess of HI. As a consequence, you get iodinated molecule for this also. This alcohol also will become iodinated. So one is this product, another one is this product. This one. So in this way you get two products. If you look at the options now, it is option A. Okay. Any doubt? No doubt. Fifth question. In the reaction, phenol plus chloroform plus NaOH giving rise to this. The electrophile involved is carbene, dichlorocarbene, option D. Any doubt? No doubt. Nobody is asking doubt. You should text in chat box if you have doubt. Yeah, fifth one, D, correct. Sujit. Sixth. Okay, why D? You have to put your name, Gioni, S6. Because that is the intermediate here. It depends upon the mechanism, right? See what happens when chloroform reacts with NaOH. It actually abstracts, first OH minus abstracts the proton here, hydrogen. Okay, it will form CCl3 minus plus H2O. This CCl3 minus is very unstable, loses one chlorine minus ion and forms CCl2. This is the powerful electrophile because of lack of octet. So this will attack the benzene ring, which is activated by formation of phenoxide ion. So this is the intermediate. No, this is the electrophile which is attacking. That's all. Yes, I agree. So time is up. So try to solve all these questions. Okay. We will organize a doubt solving session regularly. I will have a discussion on having doubt solving session with all of you. Okay. That will help actually. Many of you are solving different questions. Okay. Okay then. Thank you. Yes. For the sake of Geoni S6, last one question made bidana. Compound A, C8H10O. C8H10O ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು ಒಂದು ಬೆಂಜಿನ್ ರಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, is found to react with NaOI ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಅಯೋಡೋಫಾರ್ಮ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಓಕೆ, NaOI is a reagent for iodoform reaction. Okay, and yields yellow precipitate with the characteristic smell. Adene, that is iodoform. Okay, iodoform reaction ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿರಬೇಕು? ಮಿಥೈಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಮಿಥೈಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಕೀಟೋನ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಇದೆರಡು ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಈ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರೋದು. ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? ಎಸ್. ಸೊ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಈ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಯೋಡೋಫಾರ್ಮ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. Please remember. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Let me take attendance. 1 minute. Only 1 minute. I'll take attendance quickly. Yeah, thank you.